form of confidence, trying to drive power, trying to drive him as a Superman. He's a modern-day Superman of Evo. Yeah, I mean, we always expected that to happen that first map, I think. You look at, like you say, going back to that underdogs point, I think that SY, Supremacy, they're a team that have just placed 8th in America. In a massive MLG tournament. Evo, definitely when they found out that they were drawn with Supremacy, they're going to be thinking that. They're going to be thinking of it. And,
difficult one.
And going back to, my point at the first start, Supremacy have massive confidence from that event, massive confidence. And that was, I'm sure at some point it just became easy. It was easy for Supremacy. They didn't need to do much in that. There was no tactical. We didn't see any kind of fantastic rotation from Supremacy. All they were doing is flying at them, winning those 1Vs, and as we saw, it was a whitewash. It was a 7-0 whitewash.
7-0 on Forge Blitz, as you can see on the screen, folks. Reclaimed as the next map. Of course, damn if we do need it. But predictions, I think, Elliot, from yourself are going to be all French. I assume Reclaimed is a strong map for this team. And, Evo might be more practice on this one. We might see a bit more organization, which we said they lacked on this one. But Supremacy are the clear favorites, definitely, for this map.
I am going to go, okay, I'm going to start off with the going with the underdog. I'm going to go, because obviously this is Evo's pick, of course.
Yep.
So I'm going to say that Evo will get 2 rounds of this map. You thought I was going to say win. No, definitely not.
I was preparing my response in my mind.
I can see you like looking at 2 rounds. Anyway. No, but obviously
2 rounds. Okay, well that's an improvement. That's an improvement nonetheless.
I don't want to say it. I really don't want to say it. And obviously, I love that Evo have come here today, and they are main stage is a tough place to be, especially if you haven't got that experience. And as we see now, if you haven't got that experience, someone like Supremacy, they've played in many main stages, they've played in many events, they've got experience in the bundles, and you love to see Evo try and give it some, but we're definitely seeing the experience come out here, and the raw skill as well of Supremacy.
I think this map in particular, the raw skill is going to be a
but Tartarus
side. That was a back A. He hits it, but then didn't connect too well with the remaining shots. Dynam continues his campaign, but Conflict will stop that immediately. So once again, Supremacy overextending as quickly as they can to the enemy triple, to the home hill rather, to get that triple count. Physics, Chris adding to the kill feed. Here comes Tartar straight off respawn, but he will fall as well. Supremacy take the first round, and just as we were discussing, perhaps preliminary information going into this one, it's over already, that first one. It's all about that bowl fight. It's
looking to be the same as the previous map in that, like you say, Supremacy are being overly aggressive. You look at the short respawn times. If this was a very competitive match, which I'm not saying, not taking anything away from the competitiveness of this match, but if this was a Fable Supremacy, you would not see them extending that situation at all. So the fact that we are seeing Evo extend onto the enemy, Supremacy extend onto the Evo's home hill within a minute.
Yep.
It's not great. It's not great. You don't like to see it. You definitely don't like to see it, Tobes.
Double incend place though from Evo for Forging Construction to change up this bowl fight. And I agree with this placement. It's going to change things up a little bit. They're not being aggressive in the bowl straight away either. Playing a bit more passively, see if they can abuse these incense. Conflict is going to have a throw and a miss there on that first one. But, meanwhile, the kill feed already through Apple. Supremacy are being aggressive. Conflict does force the push. Closes down Physics as he goes through the flames, but Chris is rolling back. Conflict, not a good scenario. He's not close enough to his enemies to close one out, close a kill out, and will actually get picked off there by Strikers. And,
I had stars in my eyes there. Honestly, I thought Conflict was going to take the 1v, take the 2v, take the 3v, but no, Supremacy shut him down pretty quickly, and again they've extended again. He just has time to pick up his mate and pick that guy off, and this is becoming very, very easy. This is becoming light work for Supremacy, and as I say, you don't like to see it, but there's not really much more we can say. I think, Toby. I think this is just going to be. This is going to be standard for Supremacy. This is going to be kind of an easy day in the life. So
I think it's a good approach nonetheless from Evo. They threw the incens down. They were playing a bit more passive up top. And I hope to see more of that kind of thinking, right? Avoid that bullfight, influence it somehow, some way to mix it up. This shot grenade is actually going to be placed down at the A and C hills. I'm not sure if that will influence things too much. You could probably throw the shot grenade to the apples area, if anything, just to block that straight off push. You know, it could work.
Well, I'd like to see Evo maybe take a different approach here. They've lost B twice. You know, it's a bit like that control tower fight we saw in Forge Blitz. They've lost that twice. I'd like to see a bit of a different approach. Maybe Evo to switch it up. Maybe focus more on the barn. You know, the respawn times are getting longer, so they have the opportunity to do that. But you know, they are going straight for this fight, and he gets taken down. I saw four sprayers lancers there, and he gets taken out. Physics with a fantastic incendiary grenade there. Striker's taken down Conflict. This guy, he's going to go. Yeah, Physics takes him down easy. And now we've got 4 members down from Evo. And again, I'm pretty sure, yeah, we go. Supremacy are going to overextend, and the guy in barn is pretty in a very bad situation here at the moment.
Yeah. He was zoned out for sure. Supremacy all around him. Here comes White Point Tartarus, though. They do pick up kills, but Physics and Chris build a brick wall in front of the winery there to stop them coming through. And once again, Supremacy do take another round. And, you know, Evo's changed it up again. They flew through apples this time around Elliot. And they were super aggressive, but Supremacy, they were dialed in. The communication was evident from those 2 players in that area. And they just rolled back and answered. It's pretty much textbook from them, right? Just reacting to those strategies one after another. And you know, actually on our screen right now, they're hovering over that workshop area at the barn, and you know, guess what's gone down?
Yeah, so exactly what I said. You know, Evo, I think maybe took a little bit longer in doing it because, you know, again, that B fight, there was, I think they had 1 kill. We saw one guy try and, you know, run it. I think it was Evo Conflict ran at 2 Supremacy members on their side of the B hill. So that obviously didn't work out for them. So yeah, you know, Evo putting this drop shot down here, focusing more on this barn area, I think is definitely a good play. But we see 4 members of Supremacy against 2 in that drop shot area. So, but Tartarus does take down 1. Tartarus does take down 2, but then Chris takes down Tartarus.
Yeah, Tartarus tried to go for the flank. Conflict thrown an in, send a Hail Mary, if you will, but only finds his teammate in that scenario. Physics has drop shot on his back. Conflict has been found at the enemy's window, and I'm sure his teammate of Chris will be just to the right to ensure Conflict falls. It's just a 1v up top now, perhaps stopping a potential triple cap, but Dynam does win. That Chris is overextended already, and White Boy is stuck with a drop shot just behind him, which does clean.
For the life. Maybe back off for a slight second, let Supremacy push them. Maybe try and pinch them from top barn to bottom. You know, I definitely wouldn't say, you know, obviously I guess, yeah, maybe it was an unlucky incendiary grenade in that situation, but Evo did show some, you know, Tartarus definitely has been an Evo member to watch within this series. Definitely he's, you know, he's obviously got a lot of gun skill, but yeah, but you know, Supremacy just shut them down pretty quickly again. Whenever they get position, it seems like Supremacy just are quite quickly to shut them down and ensure they don't go forward. So, you know, we're seeing that. It's a classic display of just in a more experienced team, a more structured team, and better communicators, it looks like, as well.
Shot grenade being thrown into the mix, but Physics will pick up the drop shot just outside of that field of electricity. Chris as well forces that shot grenade out from the enemy team, and you know, a very good start once again from Supremacy, picking up the 2 kills. Tartarus falls. Dynam does find Dupe up top, very important, as that will be the ticket to this triple cap. Only Tids remains in this home hill. Drop shot being thrown in. Will find Tids. He tries to run away and reset, but
bit of a Hail Mary drop there. Bit of a Hail Mary drop, but it worked for the lad. I think it was
stop the escape.
Stop the escape, but I think it just came over all of the Supremacy members' heads there, and they just went, oh okay, fair enough. Blew up
the wall. Yeah,
got them, guys. So yeah, again, Evo, you see on your screens now, they're looking. Well, J Tids is looking happy. Let me tell you that. Yeah, they're looking a bit downtrodden here. You know, I feel like they maybe are running out of ideas what to do. You know, you look at the map. You know, you look at the weapon placements we have so far on this map. You know, you see they put down incins, they put down a drop shot, they put down grenades. Nothing's working for them at the moment, it seems like. So, but if they, you know, what I want to say is if they're going to put that drop shot in workshop, then play for it. You know, we saw Physics just take it out.
Yeah.
They tried to throw a shot down to ensure that the Physics didn't get that drop shot, but it didn't work for them. But you know, if I'm Evo, if I'm putting a drop shot down, I would play for that. You know, I'd play for that. But
it seems as though many of these teams, these inexperienced teams, are quite vulnerable to the quick pickup. You know, that's kind of like bread and butter, especially for execution back in the day. And many of these top teams are abusing it. Physics, once again, as you can see on the bottom left, has had another quick pickup. Teammate just to his side. Okay,
don't do it, Strikers. Don't do it, Strikers.
He is
oh no!
waiting to hold his shot.
That's the thing. You know, look at the individual skill; it's just so much better. Look at Strikers again. You know, he waited for that and absolutely demolished the Evo member there. So, and now he's just sitting in the home hill. I'm pretty sure confident he's going to take that. He's going to take one.
Yeah,
take two.
Textbook shotgunning, putting in the damage, waiting for the opportune moment to then get the confirmed shot to down the player by holding. Just for a second, there's Zulkos on your screen, comfortable as always. And Supremacy are comfortable both in-game and out of game. It's almost like deja vu off that first match. Me and Fru casted over 6-0, folks, in the second one. 7-0 in the first map if you're just joining us. And you know, the top teams of this event are showing up very early on, aren't they? Well,
I'm just going to say it again. You know, Supremacy have got the confidence from their most recent placement at MLG Vegas. They're really showing they're a dominant team right now, and obviously we saw, you know, we saw Odin come out, J-Rage, Godfex, Ash. We saw them come out in the last game as well, and they showed their dominance to a team that a lower seed. But Zorkos taking one of his teammates, but he gets the 3-piece, and again showing sheer dominance here, Zorkos. But no, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like you say, they are just showing their dominance, and you know, I think it's going to be. You know, I think the gap from bottom to top in this event is so big, but you know, and obviously we're going to see that in these early stage games. We're going to see that dominance being shown by top teams. I mean, I'm very excited to see Fable come out and show what they can do, but you know, we're probably going to see that in these early stages, and I think it'll be the latter stages when we start to kind of get those average teams playing each other. We start to get those top teams playing each other that it's going to get really exciting. So
sure. Chris on a mad one. Right
he's
now,
just running around
the map looking for kills. Ziff just another ranked map.
He did it! Oh, take that.
Conflict does get the meat shield on Zorkos. And he actually prevented the triple cap early on. Do I see Supremacy player running around the back? Yes, I do. It's Strikers looming around looking for that triple cap. He will get the break. Will he get the cap, though? Players coming behind him in the form of Tito. Just a simple turn on. Using the wall bounce, and it's going to happen again, unfortunately. Darko, there come the reinforcements.
Cannot happen. If you're Evo, you're in the back of someone, you know, who's in your hill. To allow Chris to do that to 2 members of Evo of your team just can't happen. That cannot happen.
It's not allowed. It's safe to say.
I'm sorry, but
back
you know,
to basics. Yeah.
Back to the drawing board for Evo, I think. Back to the drawing board.
Well, I like how proactive they were, Darko, on that map, especially, and trying to break down the workhorse of Supremacy. But, you know, the raw skill at the end of the day, that map really did show it. Just pure aggression, forge blitz as well, just force every shot combat that they possibly can. And, yeah, I think if I was Evo, keep your heads held high at this point. That was extremely quick of a game. That was faster than the first match. Supremacy really did take it to them and were as quick as possible dispatching their opponents.
Well, now they're going into a loser bracket game. You know, they're going to have... You know, they're going to have a much more inferior team, definitely, in this loser bracket game. They definitely need to pick themselves up. They can't let that affect them. They've still got another game. You know, you never know, a loser bracket run for Evo.
Maybe.
Listen. I like the underdog.
I think you need to put the cape on as well. But
listen, I'd love to. There's a guy. I'll get that cape. But you know, they can't let their heads go down. You know, it is demoralising when you lose 7-0, 7-0. But obviously, look at Supremacy. They're such a superior team, and you know, we read out the seed. We've got second versus last seed. You know, they can't let that affect them. They've got to pick themselves up. They've got to lose a bracket game. They've got to go into that. They've got to kind of build the confidence again. And you never know. You never know. I'm an Evo fan personally. I was actually once part of Evo myself.
I think I was won over as soon as I saw the blue velvet cape, my friend.
Oh, that guy honestly deserves a medal for that cape.
Yeah. Fair play.
It
just needs a logo on the back as well. Future attire.
If Evo could kind of bring out attire with a cape,
I think you need Evo on the back. I think you need a team name or an org name with like wizard or magic, you know, and then the team attire is just a cape,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. 100%.
Hit me up. Hit me up, folks. I can sort you out with branding.
He's a great stitcher as well. Great stitcher. Oh,
Sure.
Toby here.
But
yeah, no, you know, easy game for Supremacy. Easy game for Supremacy, and you know, this is, I guess, I don't want to say it, but obviously Supremacy will build some form of confidence from that. They're warmed up now. You know, definitely their individual skill, because they, you know, were allowed to display that so easily in that matchup. So they're definitely going to take this confidence forward, build on that momentum. You know, we could see Supremacy really turn up here with this event, and I'm very excited for it. Very excited.
I mean, it's early days at this point, but you know, Supremacy, they look strong individually. It might be too early to say, you know, and kind of predict how they're going to perform in the latter stages of this tournament, but they look okay. You know, they look okay. They look comfortable. They're having fun in game and out of game. Just like Odin, they do look ready to play hard. And just getting word, actually, Fable versus Aerox up next. And Aerox is a team that we've heard a lot of about off many players already at this event. Perhaps a little dark horse, you know, in the top 6, performing very well online. And curious to see how they get on.
Well, you know, Eric's, you've got Crump, you've got Brad C, you've got Saki, you've got TJ Ashens. So TJ Ashens and Brad C, they're all pretty new to this LAN, you know, to this LAN experience. But online, especially TJ, he's always been a fantastic shotgunner. He's always been very individually skilled and gifted, as a lot of people like to say, gifted. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they bring that, you know, online play into a LAN experience, because obviously I don't believe that either TJ Ashens or Brad C have attended a LAN before. So it'll be interesting to see how they bring that online play to the big stage, which is LAN. Crump and Saki, this isn't their first rodeo.
Players,
yeah, this isn't their first rodeo. They've been to several LANs, both Crump, you know, and Saki, and obviously Saki is a great player. I've always been a massive fan of Saki as an individual player. So it'd be very interesting to see how they bring it in this LAN event. Very interesting to see.
Sure.
Very interesting. And Fable, obviously, you know, it's going to be a hard game to play first off.
Yeah, we know a lot about Fable already, and I
Yes.
think we'll really get into the meat and bones of that team once again after the break, guys. We will be going to that right now. We'll be back very soon with that game, Fable versus Aerox. Do not go anywhere.